What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Good to be back, people. Obviously, been doing a lot of pre-recorded content over the last couple of weeks, but we're back today. Arsenal have made a signing. It's a big signing for Arsenal. It's only right that I go live today as well. Gabriel Jesus is a gooner. Great news for Arsenal, in my opinion, man. In the current situation we're in, I think this is a very good signing for Arsenal, a smart signing. But as I've said in the title today, people, Jesus is done, but who is next? We need more. By himself, it's not enough. If you add the right pieces to the jigsaw around him, then we're cooking, people. So big up to everyone in the chat. Great to be back. It's like a family reunion, people. You know what I mean? The pre-recorded, it's good, but, you know, it's not quite as close, is it, you know? But good to be back. Finally, a live stream. Yeah, man, we're going to start building our way back up. Obviously, the season starts in a month or so. Let me go into Granit Xhaka mode, by the way. Let me slow it down because the comments are flying in. I don't want to miss too many comments. There we go. Let me slow it down. Big up to everyone. Hey, South London's finest. Big C back with the live streams. Big up the see you net. Big up your damn selves, people. Big up everyone watching on Twitch and on YouTube. And yeah, man, big up Darren. Hope you're well, bro. Nimbo, Christopher, Amo, Abby. Hope you're all well. Big up Fran's in the chat. I see someone say Fran. Yo, big up my brother Fran. And big up him, you know, because he came on Talk Is Cheap last week. Finally, we got him on there. And he did really well. Got lots of love in the comments. And I've been, you know, pushing Laurie to get him back on again. So hopefully we get him back on. And, you know, hopefully AFTV will use him as well some more because he knows his stuff. You know, only bring proper people. So big up Fran. Big up Shaw, Gooner in the chat. Hope you're well. And Harry said, if we sign Dybala, how do you think we will line up with Jesus and Dybala? Well, we'll talk about that. We'll have a chat about that as well. Stand up if you like Tottenham. Jesus, you nearly done me there. I was about to stand up. I thought it was stand up if you hate Tottenham. Well, let me stay seated, people. People saying Talk Is Cheap was lit. I appreciate it. And yeah, man, streaming when working. Hey, big up Evans. Big up Fran, who's in the chat. Said, mad love, everyone. Big up yourself. Enough love for Big C. Big up Fran. Make sure you go and check him out today. I'm sure he'll have a video out today as well. Right, let's get into it. Let's break it down a little bit. We all know he's signed. I dropped a video this morning at 9:30. Arsenal have got an interview up on their YouTube channel as well. We all know the deal's done. It's the worst kept secret in football. But let's just break it down a little bit and kind of talk about the ins and outs of the deal, how much is going to be on. Let me show you some of the pictures. The three amigos. Edu loves this shirt, by the way, innit? Every time we announce a player, Edu's wearing this light blue shirt. Have we signed all these players on the same day? I don't know. Maybe he just loves maybe he loves this shirt. You know, a lot of rich people, you know, in their wardrobe, they'll have like the same top 10 times and just rotate it every day. Maybe Edu's got like 15 of these shirts, but he's here again. Alvin, big up yourself. He said he has risen. Welcome to Arsenal, Jesus. Well, we need Jesus to save us, to be honest, so hopefully. Denzel, big up yourself, bro. Said Thomas Partey. Yeah, listen, I mean, I can't read that out, Denzel. You nearly had me on a madness. You can see it on the screen. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. Let me stay out of that. But big up for the super chat. That's a mad one. People said I nearly deserved time out. Man nearly made me stand up on the Tottenham shout. But anyway, let me just go through the pictures. All kinds of slander going off. Thomas Partey, yo. And let me not get into that. As you can see, Edu, former technical director of Brazil. Arteta, former assistant manager of Manchester City. He knows them both well. He's wearing the number 9. Great number. Standing in the Emirates. You know, looks happy. The kit looks good, but we just care if the man scores goals. Let's be honest. I want goals from you, bro. I'm excited by the signing, but we need you to hit the back of the net. That's all we need. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about it. Because do you know what? Somebody messaged me in the comments of the last video, and he said, you're overhyping the signing. He said he's not as big a signing as you're acting like. And I said, you know what? Listen, let me put things into perspective here. We're not signing an absolute world beater here. This isn't as big as when we signed Aubameyang. It isn't as big as Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, any of them transfers. But within the current situation we're in, this is a big signing for Arsenal. Now, I've said many times I think we should have signed a second striker. I would have signed a target man as well so that we have a plan B, something a little bit different. What excites me about this signing is, number one, we've just gone through a whole season with no real focal point up front without coming across disrespectful. Aubameyang wasn't firing. Lacazette was not really playing like an out-and-out striker. And Eddie Nketiah is just making his way. So just to have an energetic pressing striker with a lot of potential, I think makes it a big signing for Arsenal. But he is a striker that needs service. That is a fact. You don't often see him get the ball, beat 3 players and put it in the top corner. He does rely on service. Big up Monty, who said, yo, Curtis, thanks for the birthday message. Just back from Malta, check the gram request. Yeah, man, I'll check. Apologies anybody that ever messages me on socials. A lot of the time I don't check the requests. I wasn't even aware of them at some stage. You know, I'm moving like an old man. I'm going to go through them sometime this week and try and get back to everyone. So don't think I'm ignoring people. Big up Monty. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you had a great birthday. So yeah, like I said, Joe saying for me it's Alexis Sanchez level. I suppose when we signed Sanchez, he was a rotated player at Barcelona. Jesus is a rotated player at Manchester City. I just think Sanchez, I don't know. I think Sanchez was a bit bigger. I would say that Sanchez became a bigger player at Arsenal than he was when he was at Barca. He didn't start every week at Barcelona, but it's similar, but not quite as big. But I do believe that he can get to a good level or an even bigger level. Edu clearly watches AFTV, commented on one of the Instagram posts. That's massive. I like that because I think staff members at these clubs, they should be aware of what's happening in the social media world. They should be watching it. Let's see what the fans want. So yeah, I respect that. I respect that if he did that. I'll check that out. Gabriel Jesus has won more titles than Arsenal have won in the last 20 years. Yeah, listen, we can weigh that up how we want. How big a role did he play in them titles is the question that a lot of people throw out, you know. He wasn't a main player in that role, but he's won them titles, 4 titles, so he's got know-how of winning. Big up Dre in the chat. He said, well, go on, big up the chat. Yeah, man, you know, Gabriel Jesus Monday. What was interesting this morning, he basically announced it himself. You know, he put it out there at like 20 past 8, and then Arsenal announced it about 10 minutes later. It was all mad. Big up my brother Broads in the chat. I've got no idea what that means, but I hope he's not setting me up there. But yeah, what he said, you know, what he said. Big up Broads. Salman said, Curtis, you live right now. He's giving me vibes that the season is coming up. Yeah, man, it's that time. You know, sometimes you just have to have a little quiet time, pre-recorded videos, you know, take your time, recharge the batteries. Season's coming back, and then we move people, you know. D said, Curtis, I think Sanchez feels like it was a bigger signing because of his eventual impact. But realistically, Jesus is the same level. I understand that. You know, I think at the point of signing, I still think Sanchez was slightly ahead of him, but it's very similar. But Sanchez reached a higher level at Arsenal. Big up Alfred, thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, Jesus is big because we sign a player who isn't here for money. He's coming for playing time. We need a player who wants to play and something to prove. I mean, listen, just to put that into context, his wages have more than doubled. So he has benefited financially. But like you said, the reality is he could have stayed at Manchester City. Apparently, he could have gone to Real Madrid and been a backup player for Benzema. He didn't need to come to Arsenal, that is for sure. So I do believe he has come here for the right reasons. Someone said, did you see Set? Listen, I mean, listen, I started my video, right? I started my video with, I did that. I thought, yo, that's quite elaborate, you know? And then AFTV, and I see Cecil. Cecil's got a shirt on. He's got the flag. I said, nah, listen, Cecil, you do your thing, bro. He loves all that. Yeah, the backflips, all of the breakdancing, big him up, man. He's a character, that is for sure. But yeah, man, if you haven't seen that, I thought my little intro was something. I seen him, I said, raw, nah, he's going far. Someone said, how much did Robbie pay him to do that? Listen, I don't even think Robbie has to pay him to do that. He loves all that. Big him up, though, still. Big him up. Big up, Lewis. Thank you for your kind donation, bro. Really appreciate it. E. Ross said, Daily Dybala, next Big C. Big up the community. Man said hi. Yeah, listen, we'll talk Dybala later on, people. We'll talk him. Connor said hi, pre-recorded. Curtis, listen, it's that time, people. It's that time, you know, a little bit of cool-off time. Ghosted said Cecil needs a timeout. I have to admit, after seeing his dance, yeah, I'd be giving him a few days off work for that. Definitely be going on timeout for that. But nah, big him up, big him up. Right, let's get into this a little bit more. Waffle settings, in case you've missed it, people. Let's hear what Arteta and our new boy Gabriel Jesus had to say. Interesting that he did an interview, and I didn't even realise he spoke English as well as that, because I saw an interview he did with Man City, and his English was minimal. So he's obviously learned English in the past few days. He looks like he's got that face on him here, where he's just realised that he's actually left Manchester City. And, you know, like we've just told him that we're in the Europa League and we finished 5th last season. He's looking over there like, oh, you didn't actually tell me that. Well, listen, I'm happy with the signing. 3 Gabbies at Arsenal. Gabriel Magalhaes, Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus. The baby-faced assassin, they're calling him. But let's get into briefly what he had to say. A bit of waffle settings for you people. Arteta's got some waffle to say. We'll just quickly get into what he had to say. Gabriel Jesus, he was talking about his relationship with Mikel Arteta. He said, giving an insight into the peers' recent discussions, we spoke a couple of times about the club, the players, the project and the future. I believe 100% in Mikel. You know what? Let's give that 6 months and let's see if you still believe 100% in him when he's playing you right wing away at Burnley and Eddie's starting through the middle. But nah, I respect it. He believes in him. He said, I had a very good time with him before. He's a very good guy and a very good coach as well. He helped me a lot at Man City. We would always stick together after the training sessions and do some amazing finishing or something. He's a very intelligent guy and was an amazing player. Is that worth me sipping the water? Let me take a sip. Let me take a sip. Gabby? Nah, let me just take a sip. I got to go full screen. Give me a sec. I'm going with a strawberry Volvic today. Needed a bit of flavour. First of all, sorry to do this. Anyone who loves Arteta, they'll go, oh, the season hasn't even started. You're already dissing him. It's a joke, people. It's a joke. But just to be respectful, Gabby, you clearly never watched him play. This is what I'm saying. That's straight cap. Let me take the cap off this Volvic. He's capping here, people. He's capping. He was a decent, steady centre mid, but he was an amazing player. He never played for his country. He was a big downgrade on Cesc Fabregas. I can't lie. You know me, people. I have to come with a bit of drama. It is what it is. I have to sip the water. You never watched him play, Gabby. Just be truthful. You know, he was growing up in Brazil. You never watched Arteta play. So if he knows something, he can teach me or the young players. He said, another factor in the 25-year-old's decision-making process was the size of the club he was joining. Jesus revealing he used to watch Arsenal teams when he was growing up in Sao Paulo, especially one player in particular, and I'm sure it isn't Mikel Arteta. He said, I followed Arsenal when I was young because of who else but Thierry Henry. Jesus added, obviously I didn't follow too many European teams, but when I saw some of the players that played here, I was like, wow, this club is big. When I played against Arsenal, I was looking at the Emirates and it was a very good stadium. So I'm very excited to play here. I'm so happy to sign for this big club. Since day one, when I knew I could come to play for Arsenal, I was happy. I know the staff. I know some players, the Brazilian ones. I know there are a lot of top players. They are young and I'm still young as well. So I'm happy to be here. I've come to help and to learn as well and to try my best. Listen, I just hope, from an Arsenal point of view, I hope he has this same enthusiasm in 6 months. You know, everything's rosy when you sign for the club. It's amazing, isn't it, how many players mention Thierry Henry when they sign for the football club. It's always Thierry Henry, which is why it annoys me when he says things and people start having a go at him. This guy probably has helped for the majority of the signings that we've brought to the football club, if we're being real. So yeah, let's get into what Mikel Arteta had to say. Just a little light waffle, people, for you this this lunchtime. Let's hear what Arteta had to say about signing him. I'm sure he's very excited about it. There is interviews up on the website now. And he said, I think the club has done a tremendous job to recruit a player of this stature. It's somebody that I know personally really well. And we all know really well because he's played in the league and he's been really successful. It's a position that's been on our radar for a long time. We have managed to get a player that we all wanted. So I'm really happy. It's interesting that he says a long time. I wonder if he was trying to get rid of Aubameyang last summer. You know, it'd be interesting. He was being linked with moves. So you never know. But yeah, having it 95 goals in 236 appearances for City across 6 seasons, Jesus' ability in front of goal won't be a surprise to anyone. Arteta revealed there are many other qualities that prompted him to move for the 56-time capped attacker, including a winning mentality that will raise the standards. Just a sprinkle of waffles from Arteta, man. He said everything I wanted to hear. One thing I liked, if you watch the full interview, with Gabriel Jesus, was he said, I want to play through the middle. He said, I'm a number 9 and I'm a striker and I want to score goals. And I wanted to hear that. You know, we heard the guy on TalkSport, you know, saying, oh, he wants to play out wide for Brazil. And I said at the time, I don't think he does want to play out wide. I think he was going on a little bit shy. He wants to play central. He wants to be a goal scorer. Jansen said a subtle Aubameyang diss. McLovin, big Man City fan, said, take care of him, Big C. I mean, you've got Haaland in the picture, so you're fine. We'll look after him. I'm sure we'll be all right. So we'll sort him out. I think it's a very good signing. Do you know what? It's been a while. Let's do a poll. Let's get a poll up. What shall I say? Last time it wouldn't let me get the poll. Oh, right. How should we say it? What picture? All right. Are you happy with the Jesus signing? Are you happy with Gabriel Jesus signing? Because there are people who are saying he's a Manchester City backup signing. You know, there are people saying it. I've had messages. Oh, you're overhyping him. He's not as good as you think. He's never scored 15 league goals. I have had these messages, people, you know. For me, I think we need another one. But I don't think we will get another striker. Stripper time, said Flip Mode. Who's next then, C Unit? Is the Gnabry deal off, or Gnabry deal, as apparently I should be pronouncing it? We will get into that. But big up for the super chat, Jacob Lewis. I appreciate it. Gunnar Vettel said, Curtis going to be calling him a prick in 6 months. Listen, just finish them chances, man, and we'll have no problems. That's all I can say, people. Happy, yes, got to have more, said Jake. Raul said he is a good signing coming into the prime of his career, but the capping was unreal regarding Arteta. I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta wrote the words for him to read out in the interview. Arteta will judge this season, no excuses. I mean, I've been judging Arteta for the last couple of seasons, but it's crunch time for Arteta, that is for sure. McLovin said Gnabry coming to Manchester. Listen, it sounds as if that could happen. But Gabriel Jesus, listen, we're done. We've read enough about him. We know about him now. It's a 5-year contract, according to reports, people, till 2027. £200,000 a week basic, £50,000 a week in achievable bonuses. He'll play through the middle, in my opinion. I think at times he may drift wide, and if we're chasing a game, maybe you put Eddie on and you play with 2 strikers. He will start through the middle, and for me, we need a minimum of 15 league goals from Gabriel Jesus. Minimum. I think he can get, 16, 17, 18 goals in the league because we don't have a recognised penalty taker. Saka was taking them at the end. I'd be looking for 4 or 5 penalties. You're already at 5. You get 8, 9 tap-ins. You're at 13, 14 goals already. You get a couple bangers, 16, 17 goals if he can stay fit. I think he's capable of scoring 20 goals if he's at it and you get him enough service. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. It'd be great if he got more than the likes of Haaland and that, wouldn't it? If they sold him and he just blew up. Remember Alexis came to Arsenal, went to the next level in terms of goals. I think he can get 16, 17 goals. I think that would be his target for me in the Premier League this season. And then, chip in with Europa League goals, cup goals, get 20 to 25 goals in all competition for me as a regular starter, lots of game time. That should be his target at least. So how many goals do you expect him to score this season? Big up Emmanuel said, hello Curtis, I'm watching from Nairobi in Kenya. Love the show. Big question is, who is the next big player? And that's the question. Hopefully there is a big player. We don't just want players, we want big players. Mo said, I think Jesus gets 18 to 20. Femi said, why more than double his wages? I'm miffed. I mean, for me, Femi, Manchester City apparently offered him a new 3-year contract on around 125 grand a week. So automatically, you've got to give him more than that. You then factor in Real Madrid, PSG, Tottenham, all these clubs wanted him. You've got to give him more than them to convince him to come to us. We're not as big of a pull as we used to be. So, I mean, that was probably the going rate. I'm sure if we got Champions League, we might have got him on 150. You end up in Europa League, you're paying him 200, 220, 250. So circumstances will dictate the contract. That is for sure, people. Gunnar8 said 18 in the Prem, 5 in the Cup. I'd take that if you offered me that now. Ali said, great stream as always, Big C. Jesus, good player, but realistically, we need another big striker like a Martinez. I don't expect Arsenal to sign another striker in this transfer window. I just don't think they would give Eddie 100 grand a week to make him third choice. I think they've guaranteed him that he'll be second choice. He'll challenge Jesus. He'll be the sub. He'll play Europa League. I just don't think they'll bring another one in. Me, personally, I would have definitely signed another striker. So big up Ali Jason, appreciate that, bro. Jashar, big up yourself. He said, big up Curtis. Now that's a 220k a week smile. He's loving it, but I applaud his bravery, man, for coming. Because like I said, a lot of strikers would have just stayed, signed a new deal at City, picked up the money and filled up the trophy cabinet. People saying Arteta tax will bring him down. Anthony said, I expect 12 to 15 league goals. If it's below 15, I'm disappointed. I got to be honest, that's not enough for me. So we'll have to see. Gabriel Jesus, welcome to the club. Done deal. But for me, that's the end of it. He's signed, he's a gooner. I'm delighted. Arsenal go on tour to Germany today, and I would assume that he will be travelling, whether today or later in the week. Arsenal play a pre-season friendly on Friday against Nuremberg. We will be doing a watch-along for that, people. It's an evening kickoff, so make sure you tune in for that first watch-along back of pre-season. Hopefully, Jesus will be involved in that. But what is next for Arsenal? That's all I'm interested in now. Jesus, yeah, pat on the back, little samba dance, bish, bash, bosh. We talk about him, it's over, it's done, he's a gooner, bang. Who is next? Because it's as simple as this. If Gabriel Jesus is Arsenal's marquee signing of the summer, if we don't get another signing that is a similar level or higher, then I don't think we've had a satisfactory transfer window. We need desperately a centre midfielder. For me, I would sign another winger as well. And we need a defender that can play left back or left centre back as well. So who is next for Arsenal? So let's talk about the next one. And by the way, there's 2,000 of you in the chat. I don't think I've streamed for over 10 days. So thank you very much to each and every one of you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. What I'm going to do is probably do 2 or 3 live streams a week as we build up to the season. And obviously once the season starts, we'll be back at it full time and we'll be at it again. But lots coming up. I've got an interview tomorrow, people, with Ben Jacobs. For anybody that follows him on social media, he's a very good journalist and he works for CBS Sports. He's been getting lots of exclusives. That interview will be out tomorrow about 2 o'clock. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put something up on the community page today. Any questions you want to ask him about Arsenal transfers. He's also a Leicester City fan, so I'm going to grill him a little bit on the Tielemans deal. So I'll be putting out a post on the community page later. Interview will be done in the morning, and I'll put it out tomorrow afternoon. Follow him on Twitter, Ben Jacobs, very good journalist when it comes to Arsenal transfers, so look out for that one. Man said Big C becoming ITK. None of that, people. None of that. I don't want to mislead anyone. I have said for a while that I felt Jesus would sign for Arsenal. I really did. And it did happen. So, yeah, man. Brazil in the building. Yes, Gambian Guna said Big C was moving like Edu, chilling during the summer. I'm telling you. That's what I've been doing, man. Barbecues and all sorts. Marty, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said Brazilian barbecue today in America on July 4th to celebrate Jesus signing in Arsenal style. Won't announce it to friends and family until July the 26th. Hey, listen, I have to say, big up everyone celebrating in America. All my American brothers and sisters celebrating Independence Day over there in the States. And hopefully, it's not all sorted yet, but hopefully I'll see you soon, people. Hopefully I'll get over there for the Arsenal tour. So big up. And big up Fitz in the chat who said Arsenal need another striker, proper backups for both fullbacks, a winger and a quality DM. This will not be done. So get yourselves ready for another miserable season of failure. Hey, cheers, Fitzy. Hey, listen, one thing I say about Fitz, he says it as it is, but thanks for cheering us all up on this Monday. You make some good points, but, you know, let's stay optimistic. Box Clip said 2 p.m. means 2:15. There you go, people. Lateness is greatness. Right, let's move on. Who are we signing next? Who are we being linked with? We need to make moves. That is for damn sure. And this one coming out today. We spoke about this a few weeks ago, and that is Milinkovic Savic from Lazio. Now, the source is not a grade A source, right? It's not coming from... And the Mirror are quoting a source coming out of Italy, and it's not a brilliant source of information over there. It's not a tier 1 source. So, Milinkovic Savic, basically, Lazio are willing to sell him this summer. They want £60 million. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He's just had a fantastic season over there. He's played a little bit more advanced this season. And he got 11 goals and 11 assists just in the league for Lazio, which is a fantastic return for a centre midfielder, that is for sure. He's 27 years of age, earns around 90,000 a week, and he wants to leave according to reports this summer. Newcastle being linked with him as well. It's an interesting one because a couple of years ago he was being linked with Real Madrid, Manchester United. Big clubs were coming in for him. Now, you know, Newcastle being linked with him. Lazio missed out on the Champions League, and apparently he wants to leave. But Arsenal and Newcastle apparently are looking at him. And the report coming out of Italy was even saying Arsenal have made a verbal offer of around £43 million for him. Lazio wants 60 million. Let me end this Gabriel Jesus poll. And 91% of you are happy with it. So there you go. Arsenal fans are happy. Great to see. How good do you think he is? Biswadeep saying he does not have the pace. JY said he's not good enough. Give us Tielemans. Akil said he is a Newcastle signing. Savic is a massive upgrade on Xhaka, said Kenneth. That 43 million for Martinez going to Savic. Tielemans or Milinkovic Savic. There you go. You know what? Let's get that as a poll. Who would you rather sign? Because I don't think Arsenal will sign 2 centre mids. I think they'll sign 1. I would have liked to. Who would you rather sign in midfield? Milinkovic Savic or Yuri Tielemans? That's a good one. Milinkovic Savic or Tielemans. Now, I have to admit, I'm going to be totally honest. I haven't watched much of Milinkovic Savic in the past year. I don't really watch Lazio that much. I know he plays a little bit further forward now. But 22 goal contributions, as Eric has said, is fantastic from midfield. It's just, can he play in a pivot with Thomas Partey? Does it, you know, do Lazio play a 3-man midfield? Apparently he plays a little bit more advanced for them as well. Do we need a midfielder that's more advanced? He's big, strong, and got an eye for a goal. And he's got the little, you know, the little moustache going on here as well. So he's got a bit of character. I have to admit, that's a difficult one for me to answer because I just haven't watched it. I haven't watched this guy play for about 18 months. You know, he went off the radar. Let's see what you're saying in the comments. The perfect number 8 said Malasi. Naki said the man can head a ball. He looks like a French street painter. Granit Xhaka said, ban that guy that said he is a huge upgrade on me. Luca said, Tielemans, please. He would rather him. JY said, Prem proven. Tielemans is a better option. No need for adaptation. I think the problem is, when you look at Milinkovic Savic, 60 million, where Tielemans going to cost you probably 30 million, and he's younger, and he knows the Prem, but I'm just more interested in who is better. Who do you think is the better player? I don't mind if Arsenal spend 60 million on the better player. It's not our money. I just want the right player. Perez 90 said, what's up, Big C? Shout out from Fontana, California. Do you think we're holding back on Tielemans to see if we can get Savic or a better midfielder? I just think that Arsenal, for whatever reason, I don't think they're fully convinced on Yuri Tielemans, because if you can get Tielemans for 30 million, why would you not have got the deal done? Especially when you've agreed terms with him personally. You're just taking a big chance that somebody else comes in and signs him. So I think maybe they're looking at different options. You know, Fabian Ruiz is one that we've mentioned. Maybe Milinkovic Savic as well, in terms of other players. So you could have a good point. Hyro said, any of them, those names you mentioned, are only big names since the Invincible team. I mean, we've had some good midfielders, you know, your Cazolas and your Fabregas, but we desperately need a top player. Paul said Savic is world class. He gets into any Premier League midfield. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's world class. From what I've seen, I'm not sure he gets in that Man City midfield either. But maybe you watch more of him than me. I honestly can't say. Young Nizzle said Savic is better than Tielemans on every aspect of the game. Man looks like Dastardly from Wacky Race. Savic is not world class. Trust me, Savic is proper. What I will say, listen, if we sign Milinkovic Savic, you won't hear me complaining. We've had Granit Xhaka for 5 seasons. I'll take him. I'll take Tielemans. I'll take Savic. Some people saying Italian tax on him. Not as good in the Prem. You just don't know, do you? Naki said, I watched him in the Roma game and he was a beast. Don Arsenal said, I watched his YouTube video and he was like slow motion. I've got to admit, though, Tielemans is not that quick either. It's about how quick you can move the ball. That's the question. So listen, if we sign him, you will not hear me complaining. I will take him. And I'll take Tielemans as well. Either one of them are an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. But as I said, the source of information that this is coming from is not the most reliable. The Mirror are quoting an Italian newspaper that isn't a top tier source. So I would say don't get overly excited with this one. If it happens, then great. Mo said that Savic is world class as well. So a few of you. Big up KG in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to him. Very good Leeds channel. And Leeds are making signings, by the way. They're probably spending the Rafinha and the Calvin Phillips money up front, you know. But big up KG, who said Savic is a baller. Lucas said, where do you think Tielemans will go? I think we'll sign him in a couple of weeks if we can't get other players. I just get the impression he's low down on the list. That's what I would say. So Milinkovic Savic, listen, if we signed him, I'd be happy with that. I really would. But some of you have probably seen a lot more of him than I have. Alfred said 22 goal contribution. You can't overlook that. Italian league actually play defensive. So for him to get that number, front line needs a provider. Yeah. And as you said, 11 assists as well. Big up Alfred with the super chat. Tielemans is only 2 years younger, so not a huge difference in terms of age. KG said we're about to wrap up Sinestera. All I've seen of him, he's quick and skillful. He looks like he'll be an exciting player. He got him a good price. I think they're getting Tyler Adams as well, another player that we was linked with. Let's move on. Another player, people. Another player. We've spoken about him a number of times. That Arsenal are being linked with Dybala again, or Dybala. Is it Dybala or Dybala? Another one. I'm butchering his name. Now, Buenos Aires Gunnar is always the first one in the chat saying, no, I don't want nothing to do with him, and, he's an Argentina fan and he's the first one to say, don't bring him anywhere near the club. But he's a free agent. Dybala, apparently, people are saying. He was set to join Inter Milan. Still looks as if he's going to join Inter Milan. But apparently the deal's on hold at the moment. They haven't completely agreed the deal. And now Arsenal and Manchester United apparently are speaking to his agent about a potential move. Now, I've always said, people, the problem with him, he wants a big wage. Apparently wants 200 to 250 grand a week, which is big money. When you look at his stats, they're not bad for a guy that a lot of people say is finished. 115 goals and 48 assists in 295 games. You're talking 1 in every 2 games a goal contribution for a guy that doesn't play through the middle, that has had to play second fiddle to Ronaldo and players like that. He's produced numbers. I have to admit, if we signed him, I wouldn't be complaining. I've always personally quite liked him, but a lot of people say he's finished. So, again, haven't seen that much of him in the last year or so. So, maybe his levels have dropped. But I've always liked him. I love the celebration. I think he's got a silky left foot. I just think with Odegaard and Fabio Vieira and Jesus, I don't know where you get him in the team if you were to get him. But he's a free agent, people. Would you not take a chance on him for a couple of years? Man United are signing Christian Eriksen, 30 years of age, on a 3-year contract. Sometimes you take a risk on these players when they're available on a free. Let me put another poll up. 55% of you, by the way, have said you would take Yuri Tielemans ahead of Milinkovic Savic. So that's an interesting one. Would you take Dybala, as you're telling me? Would you take Dybala on a free? I'm going to be totally honest, people. I'd take him. I would take him. I'd take a chance on him. But I understand why a lot of you are saying he's past his best. Footy Chat said, big up Big C and the C unit. Hope you're all good. Lucas said Dybala, 100%. I would take him. Salu saying too many left footers. It's funny though, we never say that when you got loads of right footers. The Invincibles, I think the only left footer was Ashley Cole. So it doesn't bother me, to be honest. Hat-trick of strippers. Yeah, more polls than a strip club today, people. Essen said it should be Savic, 90%. T Gunner said I'd take Dybala on a free, 100%. On a free is tempting. Box Clip said hell no. Cangeli said wages. I don't care. Throw him at him. Give him 2 or 3 years on a free. What's the worst that can happen? Although I said that about Willian. Play him instead of Fraudegard. Theo Live, not a fan. Buenos Aires Gouda would love Dybala at Arsenal. He's always fuming about him. Dybala won't leave Italy. Jacob said use the money to go get Gnabry. I mean, let's talk Serge Gnabry. We've got the poll up for Dybala. We'll come back to that shortly. Obviously, we put a video out. Was it yesterday? Day before? About Serge Gnabry. That deal looks as if it's off. What was interesting, a lot of you was in the comments saying, listen, the deal can't be off because the deal was never on in the first place. And I get the impression that Gnabry was a figment of our imagination. It was, all the hype, I think, was coming from the fan base. It was like Basuma. The fans have wanted Basuma for 2 years, but you've never really seen Arsenal make an offer, make a serious inquiry. You've never seen Ornstein or anybody like that say that Arsenal wanted Basuma. And I think the same is of Serge Gnabry. Number one, I don't think we're in for him. Number two, if we've gone in for him or had a conversation, I think he possibly may have not been interested. I think if he was in the Champions League, you may have seen different things happening. I just don't get the impression he would want to come to a club in the Europa League. Now we're seeing, for anybody that's watching the news today, Chelsea are in advanced talks with Manchester City to sign Raheem Sterling. The story coming out since yesterday is that Manchester City will sign Serge Gnabry to replace Raheem Sterling. Now, as much as Serge Gnabry loves Arsenal, I think it's almost impossible to turn down Manchester City and Pep Guardiola when you're at that stage of your career. As much as you love Arsenal, if Pep's calling me and Arteta's calling me, there's only one phone call that I'm picking up, and the other one I'm rejecting it and blocking the number. Let's be totally honest. So I don't think Gnabry will be an Arsenal player next summer, although we may see him in the Premier League. So we'll have to see with that one. But the Serge Gnabry dream of the Arsenal fan base looks as if it's over, in my opinion. So I don't think that will be happening. John Joe said, "Hi, Big C. It's good to be back from my holiday refreshed. I think we're wasting time in the transfer market." Are we wasting time? It's now July the 4th. Happy Independence Day to all our American brothers and sisters. I mean, we've signed Matt Turner. He was already done. Marquinhos, a young player. Not sure he'll play much first team. So really, Fabio Vieira and Jesus, it's a start. At least we've got two in. You know, Chelsea haven't signed yet. Man United haven't signed. But then Tottenham have signed. Manchester City have signed. Liverpool have signed. And we're playing catch-up. We need 3 or 4 more signings, in my opinion, before this window closes. But I want to see a couple more done before the season starts. So I wouldn't say we're wasting time, but we do need to get moving, you know. While we're here, 2.3k in the chat now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We are now 1,400 people away from 50,000 subscribers. I want to hit that number. We'll do a giveaway or something when we hit that, definitely. But we want to hit that before the season starts. So it'd be great to hit that sooner rather than later. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, lick down that like button and let's hit that 50k, people, and you know, onwards and upwards from there. What about Memphis Depay? I don't think we're interested in. People saying there's a tweet from Fabrizio. Let me just have a quick look on that. Fabrizio talking about Lisandro. Lisandro Martinez is back in Holland today. He's been very clear with Ajax, telling the club he only wants to leave to try his first Premier League experience. Manchester United are pushing as Ten Hag wants Lisandro as a priority. Arsenal are still fighting. I mean, let's segue that in nicely. We've spoken about Lisandro Martinez a few times, and I'm being totally honest. I think he ends up at Manchester United over Arsenal. And I tell you why. I've said it before. I don't think we can guarantee him first-team football in our back four. We've got Gabriel as a left-sided centre-back. We've got Kieran Tierney at left-back. Now, he can play both positions, but Manchester United need a centre-back to come in and maybe play in front of Maguire. I think if he goes to Manchester United, he goes straight into their back four. If he comes to Arsenal, I don't think they can guarantee him first-team football. And that is why I still think we will struggle to get this deal done. I have to admit, I'm not devastated if we don't get the deal done, to be honest. He looks a decent player. But I think spending £43 million on a player that doesn't even necessarily start for us, I think that money can be spent better elsewhere. I would spend big on the centre midfielder first, then go and address it. Or listen, get them both done at the same time. But I just think because United can guarantee him first-team football and he's played with Ten Hag, I think it's a more difficult deal for Arsenal to get done. Peely said, we are moving so slow with the bidding process, bidding low and risking being outbid by City. MS said, congrats to Bav. I have to big him up. I spoke to him, not yesterday, the day before, congratulated him. He's somebody that, you know, I've spoken to a lot about YouTube when he worked at AFTV a few years ago. And I have to big him up because it's very easy in this YouTube space. A lot of people compete with each other. I don't see it like that. I think it's better if you all build together. You know, everybody lifts the community up. We all go together. And when he left AFTV, you won't mind me saying, you know, his back was against the wall. He was thinking, what am I going to do? And, you know, I was saying to him, push with your channel, go full time. You know, you understand this YouTube game. And see him at 100,000. Big up, Bavs. You know, fantastic editing that he does on his channel. Puts a lot of time and effort into it. And I know he's worked very hard, so I have to big him up. 100K is not easy to hit those kind of numbers. And, you know, Bav, I think Bav's only like 21 years of age. So big him up, man. Massive congratulations to him on that one. Nick said, just signed Grimaldo. Stop wasting our time on Martinez. I mean, what do you think about this Lisandro Martinez one, people? What do you think about that? Let me end this poll, by the way. 68% of you said you would take Dybala. So there you go. We're in the same school of thought here. I just don't think that Arsenal are going to be able to convince him without guaranteeing him first team football. I think United and Ten Hag, the fact he's played for him before, I think that will be difficult. Grimaldo's available for 7 million. That's a no-brainer. Let me have a look at this. We did speak about Grimaldo the other week, actually, but if he's going for them kind of prices, that's an absolute no-brainer. Oh, there's a report. Oh, no, that's an old report. No, this one from yesterday. Arsenal have made an official inquiry for Grimaldo. They want £7 million, around 10 million euros coming out of Portugal. For me, yeah, I'm signing Grimaldo for 7 million. There's no need to spend 43 million on Martinez if we can get him. It's all recorded according to reports. You know, you'll probably hear me say those words about 50 times this summer, according to reports. But listen, Salou said Grimaldo can't defend. Micah said I'd only go for Grimaldo if we can't get Martinez. Chris said get him now for 7 million. 6 million said I'm with you. 100% Big C doesn't start for us, so he'll go to United. If we sign Lisandro Martinez for 43 million, that concerns me because that would make me think that maybe somebody's leaving, because I don't see why you spend 43 million on a left-sided centre-back when you've got Gabriel Magalhaes. And like I said, people say he can play left-back, but he played one game at left-back last season for Ajax, so surely you wouldn't sign him and play him ahead of Kieran Tierney. We missed out on Hickey. Hickey signing for Brentford for about 20 million euros. So we're going to find out how good he is. If he goes to Brentford and he's amazing, we're going to be saying, you know, why did we not sign him? But, you know, it's hard to say until we see how good he is. So we'll have to see on that one. Oh, that's quality, man. Yeah, so Edu, oh, that's brilliant. No, I have to respect that. Edu put laughing emojis on the video of Arsenal announcing, on AFTV announcing Gabriel Jesus with Cecil dancing. That is brilliant. I respect that. I like that from Edu, man. Be a man of the people. Don't move like a robot. You know, you have to interact with the fan base. I like that. I like that. Yeah, man, big up. We missed out on Hickey. Gabby to Juve. I mean, that's a worry. Chelsea apparently are getting quite close to getting De Ligt. Now, Juventus have been linked with Gabriel Magalhaes, and of course, Chiellini's gone as well. Left-sided centre-back needed. Let's hope they don't get involved in that one. We don't want to see deals like that happening. Yeah, big up Edu, man. Big up Edu. I like that. I like that. He can light up the barbecue, you know. With this great club, the hierarchy is clueless settings. Listen, I'm you know me, people. I'm the first person to call out the football club when I don't feel they're moving correct. You know, I don't need any encouragement to do that. But you have to give them some credit for this particular signing of Jesus, because, you know, Fabrizio saying that even last week, 3 clubs were still trying to sign him. And that we've stopped clubs like Real Madrid signing him and Tottenham and PSG. Now, the fact that we could offer him first-team football is what has convinced him to come to the football club. Make no mistakes about it. If Real Madrid are playing him through the middle, he goes to Real Madrid. PSG probably the same. The fact we can start him every week is what has convinced him to come to the football club. But we need more. We need a central midfielder. You can't be going into next season with Granit Xhaka playing centre mid, and you can't be going into next season with Cedric and Nuno Tavares as your 2 backup fullbacks, because Tomiyasu was injury prone last year, and so was Kieran Tierney. So you need backup players that are better than those 2, because if they get injured again, you're playing Nuno Tavares, who doesn't quite look ready at the moment. Nimbo said, Control Alt Delict. I love that one. That's one of the comments of the day. I can't lie. Delict could be on his way out. Some credit. You were calling them out last week. Yeah, no, listen, I'm giving them a little bit of credit. I will call the club out when I feel they deserve it. I'm not one of these that, everything the club does looks rosy. Sometimes I think they're in the wrong, but when they do well, they'll get their respect, you know. John Joe, thank you for your kind donation, bro. Said this is towards an Arsenal t-shirt, Mr. C, so you can rip it up when the signings don't go to plan. Here we go. I'm never going to live that one down, am I? The rip shirt. I think I should delete that and say it never happened. This morning, obviously a few of you were on to me, saw me wearing the new home kit this morning. It was a birthday present. But, I did have the option. The receipt was there. I could have took it back and swapped it, and I just kindly accepted it. So you will see me in the new home shirt this season, I'm afraid, with the collar. The collar that I hammered when the kit was launched. So, yeah, it is what it is, people. We're shameless over here, people. It is what it is. I don't even hide from it. It's right there in 4K, people. So, yeah. And the new away shirt, they've announced today when that's coming out, although I think we knew anyway, but just to show you that one. So yeah, John Joe, you're feeding me to the wolves there. So thanks a lot for setting me up. But I appreciate the super chat. Excuses FC, yeah. I'll be shameless with it, my friend. I'll be shameless with it. I don't hide. But the black kit, man said you Judas. It is a bit bad. I'm screaming Kroenke out, and then I've got the new kit on. It is what it is. I don't even hide it, though, people. Arsenal will launch their 2022-23 away kit on Monday, the 18th of July. So 2 more weeks before I buy that one as well, people. In Orlando, during their preseason tour of the USA, the kit will be worn against Orlando City on Wednesday, the 20th of July. And I'm sorry, people, but there's nothing I can do about that. Just look at that. I mean, that is impossible for me to walk out of any shop without wearing that. I'm sorry. That's getting copped. That is getting 100% copped the day it comes out as well. You know what I mean? Hopefully I'll be in Orlando wearing it. But yeah, that's getting bought. I might even put a name on the back of the shirt. Although, to be fair, I still don't think there's a player at Arsenal that I would put on the back of the shirt this season. I might just go with a throwback. I'll put 14 Thierry Henry on the back. I don't care. We'll just put an old player. But listen, everybody, you got to forgive me when you see me in this kit. I'm sorry. I'll be wearing it, and I won't even be hiding. I'll be wearing that in 4K, mate, with a name on the back. That shirt is ferocious. And I expect a lot of you in the comments. Look, Nick saying that's a shirt I could definitely buy. History settings. What are you saying? Henry 14 on the back. I don't think there's a current Arsenal player that I would put on the back of the shirt, to be honest. I don't like a player enough. Shameless shirt wearing. It is what it is, people. We've had a tough time the last couple of years. Pandemics and all sorts, man. You'll see me in that. That shirt's getting copped. We signed Jesus and Judas has the best channel. Hey, relax, Alfred, man. Relax yourself. I'm a man of the people. I'm a righteous man, But yeah, Arsenal it's a problem. It's a problem. But that shirt's getting copped. It is what it is. Mr. Modo said, I don't understand why people question the pursuit of Martinez. Do we expect Gabriel to play all the league and European league games? What it is... Oh, yeah, Fitz has got it already. Yeah, we know you've got it already, Fitz. I remember. Man turned up on a member stream about 2 months ago wearing the shirt. Listen, messaging people. He's got the link. People. He had that shirt months ago. What I would say, if we sign Lisandro Martinez, I've got no problem with that. I would take that as well. But what I'm saying with Arsenal, I want to see Arsenal buy what they need before they get other players. When Arsenal spend big money on positions that we don't desperately need a player in, it worries me because I've seen this before where last season we spent 150 million, but we didn't get a Granit Xhaka upgrade. And I could see Arsenal doing it again, going and spending loads of money, and yet you don't have a top quality centre mid. So if we sign Lisandro Martinez, I'll take it all day long. But I just hope we get the other things that we need as well. And that's all I'm saying in terms of Arsenal. I'll take Lisandro if we sign him, but just make sure you get what we need as well. Let's talk a few other transfer stories before we start rounding up. Lots going off. I've seen a few of you put in the comments. Ornstein announcing that Chelsea are trying to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, the football world is going mad. Ronaldo has not reported for pre-season training today. He stated family reasons, but with all, I don't see him turning back up for training for the next few days. He wants out. They're being linked with Neymar as well. PSG are trying to sell him. They want him out. He's on 600 grand a week. Imagine if Chelsea signed Ronaldo and Neymar in a window. I mean, I couldn't cope with that. I can't lie. I don't want to see players like that going to Chelsea. I don't think Man United will sell Ronaldo to Chelsea. I don't think they'll allow him to go to another English club, but he definitely wants out. Neymar is an interesting one because it seems as if PSG are willing to bin him if somebody will pay them big money, and it looks as if Chelsea are trying to make a trademark transfer. So Ken said Ronaldo gone by the end of the week. 2.5K watching, 500 away from 1K. Like, yeah, can we hit 1,000 likes, people? Hit that 1,000 likes and subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I can say, people. We're itching towards, in fact, 1,290 away from 50K, people. I'm hoping we can hit that in the next week or so. I really am. I'm pushing the community. PSG apparently came out and said they're not interested in Ronaldo, so we'll have to see on that one, but definitely interesting with what's going off. Eriksen to Man United on a free as well. Don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it's a particularly big signing for them, but he is a decent player on a free. I think they'll play him a little bit deeper as like a deep-lying playmaker, and use him in that way. So, listen, the transfer window is starting to heat up. Yeah, reports that he could go to Bayern Munich if Lewandowski goes to Barcelona. Michael said Ronaldo to Arsenal. Listen, I would take him. I'm shameless. I'll take Ronaldo for 1 year up front with Gabriel Jesus as well. I would take him, but it's not likely to happen, that is for sure. Let's get into a few of your comments before we round up. We're approaching an hour, and then we'll be out of here, people. Ken said, my first time on this stream, Curtis, saw the shirt ripping incident and just had to subscribe. It is what it is, it had to come off. It is what it is. Honestly, I promise you, it wasn't pre-planned. It was just one of them that you cannot understand the level of frustration that Arsenal take you to, like, 2 games to get Champions League and you lose both of them. I'm still not over last season. I'm not, but I'm trying to be positive, focus on the future, and we move forward. But big up, welcome to the community, Ken. You're flying high. You're a Liverpool fan. You're living the life that I lived during my school days, when my team were dominant. You walk around with the shirt in absolute pride, but it is what it is. You're the top dogs now, although Man City just above you, but you know what I mean. You're one of the two. Flip Mode said, bless up everyone. Have a good 4th of July to all the US community members. Big up everyone celebrating in the US. All our brothers and sisters in the US celebrating Independence Day. Abhinav said, welcome, Ken, to the best stress reliever. Oh, dear. Listen, I'm sure many fans love watching Arsenal to make themselves feel better about their own club, Welcome to the Cone unit. The slander is outrageous, Nimbo. It really is. Gabu said, big up, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Big up, Big C. Been a while. Would you rate a Camavinga signing as a possibility with recently buying Tchouaméni? I don't think so. I think next season they will let Toni Kroos or Modric leave and Camavinga and Tchouaméni will be promoted. But no, Camavinga for me, I've said it before, I think he's a potential world beater. I think he's one of the best young midfielders in world football, along with the likes of probably Bellingham and Pedri and players like that, Tchouaméni. So, no, I don't see him selling him. Arsenal should hijack Sterling. Listen, I don't think we're in a strong enough position to get Sterling away from Chelsea. They'll pay ridiculous wages, and they're in the Champions League, and they've got a better team. So I don't know how you can convince him to come to us, really. Michael said James Ward-Prowse. So you know what? I'm really surprised that none of the big 6 clubs have signed him. I do think he's improved. So, yeah, I am surprised at that. John Layat said, big up Big C. He was watching Denilson. Absolute class. Denilson was making kids in Sao Paulo support Arsenal. He loves Denilson. You crack me up, John, Denilson was probably, along with Andre Santos and Willian, one of the 3... Would I say the 3 worst Brazilians I've ever seen at Arsenal? Probably. Andre Santos and Willian. probably the worst two. I'll let Denilson off. Denilson used to go raving all the time in London. He was always seen in London. That's because he's a set-piece merchant. And you know what? I think Ward-Prowse is a bit better than a set-piece merchant. I think he does have some talent, but yeah, it's an interesting one. Peter said Milinkovic Savic is a beast. Let's get him in. Rion said, Curtis, would you take Trossard from Brighton? He wouldn't be high on my list. I think he's a steady player. But I just don't think he wouldn't be top on my list. If we go for a winger, I think we need better than that, in my opinion. Steve said DB10. Listen, if you see me in that black shirt, you might see, you know, Burkamp or Omri or someone like that on the shirt. Big up Kathmandu, big up from Orlando. What's the weather like over there, man? Hopefully the weather's good ahead of the tour. Go get Rashford from United. Listen, I said that a couple of times. I was annihilated. Listen, I can't lie. I would take Rashford, but we won't get him. He'll stay. Mohammed said Jesus is obviously a good signing. I would say he's not quite enough to be the main man. He's a Sylvain Wiltord sort of level. Wiltord was good, but had some greats playing alongside him. I think we have to build a team around Jesus. As I said, Jesus by himself is not enough. If you add to it and put the right players around him, I think he looks a lot better player. Young Nizzle said, mad storms in Florida. That's all you want to hear, innit? You don't want to hear that. Partey, Milinkovic, Savic, Odegaard, Vieira, Jesus, maybe a right winger as well, and we're good. Jake said it's hot in the US, 95 Fahrenheit all over. There you go. We'll end it there, people. Thank you very much. Really enjoyed the stream today, just over an hour. Great to see everyone again. I'm going to be doing maybe 2 or 3 streams a week, just to give you a bit of insight into the week. Tomorrow, I'll have a transfer video out with Ben Jacobs. Go and follow him on Twitter. He's getting a very good reputation in this window for the transfer scoops, especially Arsenal. He'll be on. That interview will be out around 2 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to put a community post out later on today. If there's any questions you want to ask him about any players that Arsenal are being linked with, throw them in the comments. And even if you're a Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, or you support any of the other big clubs, throw them in as well. That'll be out around 2 o'clock. We'll be doing a watch-along on Friday evening. Arsenal against Nuremberg, our first official pre-season friendly. Obviously, we beat Ipswich on the weekend. That was a behind closed doors. And we will be doing a member stream this week as well. Probably, I may do the member stream on Friday before the pre-season friendly. So look out for that. We're going to be back. Lots of work, lots of content. Yeah, member stream this week, people. Thank you very much for tuning in. Loved it. Gabriel Jesus is a gooner. Who's next, people? We need more if we're going to get back in that top 4. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.